Good morning. Yeah. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees. And it's so great to see everyone in person again. So we've missed you, and again, good to see faces as opposed to a face on the computer screen. And again, I want to thank the Chancellor and the staff for the great work they've done pulling the documents together for our board meeting. I know it takes a lot of work on the President's half and the staff's half, and again, we really appreciate all that work. And I'm going to repeat my mantra that we're, again, committed to the success of our students, and we're focused on the core mission of the community college system, which is workforce development, academic transfer, and education. And at this time, I would like to introduce our pastor, senior pastor with Camellia Baptist Church, and he's originally from Opelika, Alabama, graduated from Auburn University with a bachelor's degree in history. And in 2012, he graduated from Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky, with a Master's of Divinity degree in Biblical Counseling. Pastor James Taylor.
Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me to be here today to serve you guys as y'all are just getting back together. I will say, not only did I graduate from Auburn University, but from Southern Union Community College there in Opelika as well. So I'm grateful to be here. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father, we thank you for your grace in our life. We thank you for Jesus Christ and for what he has done on our behalf. I thank you for all of these men and women who are serving our great state of Alabama. And Lord, I thank you that our society is to the point of being able to get back more and more to normal, and for this group of men and women to be able to meet together once again. Lord, I pray your grace upon them today, Lord, that they would be able to conduct business, one, in a manner that is pleasing and honoring to you, but Lord, also that you would give them wisdom and discernment to know what is best for our students here in Alabama. Lord, we thank you again for your grace and for your mercy in each and every one of our lives. Thank you for Jesus Christ and his grace upon us. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Let's please stand. Attention, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Wilkins, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Jeff Shale.
Present.
Mr. John Mitchell. Ms. Valerie Gray.
Present.
Mr. Matthew Woods.
Present.
Mr. Goodrich Rogers.
Present.
Mr. Milton Davis.
Present.
Mr. Levelyn Ray.
Present.
Mr. Blake McAnally.
Present.
Dr. Yvette Richardson.
Present.
Governor Kate Ivey.
Okay, thank you. All right, now next on the is the approval of our agenda, and we had an agenda item added for the 7A2 for Lawson State Community College refinance bond amendment.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that the agenda be amended to add item 7A2, Lawson State Community College refinance bond amendment.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. McAnally and a second by Mr. Rogers. All in favor, please show by raising your hand or voice vote. Okay. All right, the amended agenda is approved. Next is the approval of our minutes of the June 9th, 2021 meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I've read the minutes and I make a motion we approve them as written.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Rogers.
Second.
A second by Mr. Roan. All in favor, please raise your hand or by voice vote. Okay, any comments? Okay, minutes are approved. Do we have anyone signed up for public comment?
No, sir.
Okay, great. Next item on our agenda is item 7A1, the Alabama Community College System Authorizing Resolution Bond Series 2021.
Motion to approve.
Okay, have a motion by Mr. Rogers,
Second.
second by Mr. Shell. All those, yes, sir?
Mr. Chairman, just to make a brief comment about this one, we had discussed this back, I think, in March in our work session. We were given a presentation by the folks with Stiefel, and this is a program that is new to us. It's a new way for us to fund projects throughout the system. We had also taken action to convert some fees and to provide a stream of revenue related to enrollment for the support of these bond issues. Those fees were not an increase in rates to students. They were just a reallocation and redirection of those. And I know that our new board members, during their orientation, although they were not a part of that work session, were given a brief on this, and I think all understand it. We've had significant discussion about this in our Audit Finance Committee in the last week or so, and the time is prescient to be able to move forward with this and secure the rates that are available and moving forward this progress. This is going to be a keystone in moving forward in many things that we look to undertake in the very near future. So we're excited about this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. McAnally. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving this motion, please signify by raising your hand or voice vote. Okay, motion approved. Next item on the agenda is item 7A2, Lawson State Community College Refinance Bond Amendment. I'd like to entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make the motion that we approve this amendment for this bond.
We have a motion by Mr. McAnally.
Second.
I have a second by Mrs. Gray. Any discussion?
Likewise, our Audit Finance Committee has had meetings on this. We've worked with the staff considerably to understand what all was going on here, and this is just a slight correction to make things work smoother, better. There was one particular debt that was retired for Lawson by the federal government, and we're excited about that, and it makes room for a lot of opportunity for additional things to happen at Lawson. And there were certain parts of that guarantee of that former debt that we needed to amend to make work with our new process. So that's all this is about, really.
Great, thank you. Any other discussion? Thank you, Mr. McAnally. With that being said, I'd like to, all those in favor of approving this motion, please signify by raising your hand or voice vote. Okay, motion approved. Next item on our agenda is item 8A1, J.F. Drake State Community and Technical College approval to pursue purchase of real properties. Entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve that purchase.
We have a motion by Mr. Rogers.
Second.
Okay, second by Mr. Woods. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand or voice vote. Motion approved. Next item on the agenda is item 8A2, Snead State Community College, an upgrade of the network infrastructure.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, motion by Mr. Wood, second by Mr. Rogers. Any discussions? All those in favor of approving the upgrade of network infrastructure, please signify by raising your hand or voice vote. Motion approved. Next item on the agenda is personnel.
Mr. Chairman, Board, I'd like Charlene would come. I want her to introduce and provide the background data. We have been working diligently over the last 6 or 7 months at least, trying to be prepared for what the legislature might do, which it did, and it's created a situation so that we are going to have to develop more in-house operations so that we can monitor and make sure all the inspections and everything else that needs to be done is appropriately done. Negotiate with architects and whatever else we may have to do. So in the past, we pretty much outsourced our personnel services dealing with construction management. With this move, we will begin establishing an in-house operation. It is my desire and that of other people in the system that we not just focus on just when there's a new building or a repair occurring, but look at the entire facility, and the needs of the facilities, and the appearance of the grounds, and just the overall impression one gets, and the kind of analysis that needs to be done so that once we complete a major capital restoration, that we don't always get right back in the same shape. And so we have diligently looked, and I've traveled around the state. I've looked at the various schools and four-year colleges around the state. And I know it's going to sound partial. I'm a graduate of Troy, undergraduate. And they advertise themselves as being the prettiest campus in the state. Well, I think they're guilty of that. If you don't believe it, just go ride through that campus and you will learn how to appreciate what they're talking about. So I began looking and talking with staff on board, and what can we do to step up? And I think we found the answer. We have a young man here today with us who has spent pretty much a lifetime of work being in charge of making sure that the campus at Troy University was first class. And after doing what I could do and others could do to be persuasive, he's agreed to come to work for us. And so, Charlene, if you would introduce.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Chancellor, trustees, it's wonderful to see you all in person again. I'm Charlene Finkelstein, the HR Generalist here, and I'd like to introduce a person who will be starting with us on July 26th as our Chief Facilities Officer, and his name is Mark Salmon. Mr. Salmon has 21 years of experience in facilities management with Sadejo Marriott International as Director of Buildings and Grounds, and most recently as District Manager for the Alabama and Florida districts. Mr. Salmon has a bachelor's degree from the College of Engineering and Technology at Brigham Young University. He also has an MBA from the Marriott School of Management at Brigham Young. And he is a member of numerous school boards and organizations. So thank you, and help me welcome Mr. Salmon.
Board members, Chancellor Baker, and all of you, it's a privilege to come and join you here at the Alabama Community College System. I truly am looking forward to this opportunity. It has been a blessing for me and my family and the time that we have spent in Troy over 21 years. And I am looking forward now to these new responsibilities of being with you, getting to meet you. I am a believer in taking our buildings and shaping them because, as Sir Winston Churchill said, they shape our people. And I believe that our students and anybody that comes to our facilities can feel proud of what we have to offer, and where there are opportunities to improve and facilitate that, that'll be the goal and the vision to sync up with the Aspire initiatives that you have as a board, and to move forward and transition this shift from the Division of Construction Management and be able to handle that appropriately. So again, thank you. It's a privilege to be here with you, and I look forward to working with everyone.
Thank you, Mark, and Mark will be on board the 26th, I believe, of this month. We appreciate the work that's been done previously by our outside contract, and their contract extends for another 6 or so weeks, I believe. We have a lot of projects that are already underway, a lot of projects that are underway and being monitored and managed through the construction management operation. So there'll be a learning process, but it was my thinking that the more they could be together, and we have Ed Watley here, and I think the transition and, look, we are gonna end up, we already have ended up, as what we do is going to be a model. And we're gonna be looked at because neither the four-year colleges or the K through 12 schools were able to come out from under construction management. So it is not an option. We don't want to do anything any different other than the best in the world, but we don't have an option. We must be the model, and we must demonstrate that we know what we're doing. We're going to, and I look forward to Mark leading that charge.
Salmon, we're glad to have you on board, and like I said, you're going to have quite a bit of work to do with the Aspire program and the construction management again. So we appreciate your leadership and looking forward to good things from you.
Mr. Chairman, the next item I have, I'd like to ask Reggie Sykes. Reggie has been with the system 11 years. Reggie has been an asset to the system. He has done a lot of things that we're proud of, and Reggie's going to step aside with your approval. He's tended his resignation as president. And but we have a lot of things going at Bishop today. A lot of construction, new programs that Reggie's leading, and I wasn't willing to just let him disappear. So there's going to be a transition time that Reggie, assuming you accept his resignation, will still be under a contract with us to serve through a transition time to make sure that what we have going is moving forward. There are a lot of people in the Mobile area, that whole general area, that are familiar with what's going on. So I've asked Reggie if he would come today, and I'd welcome you saying a word or two if you would like.
Well, trustees and Chancellor, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
After 40 years in education and my family needing me, it's time to retire. So it's time. I want to thank you for the opportunity to serve as president, 5 years at Alabama Southern and 6 years at Alabama Southern, which is Coastal now, and 6 years at Bishop State Community College. There hasn't been a day in those 11 years that I didn't want to come to work because I loved my job and I enjoyed working with the faculty and staff at both institutions and both communities. What a blessing to be able to say that. I want to thank everyone here at the system office for your support during my tenure as president. And I will miss the camaraderie and fellowship with the presidents. You know, you're more than just colleagues. Some of you now, you know, you're very good friends, and so I'm going to miss the time and fellowship with you all as well. And I want to thank Gloria Sterling for her support, loyalty, work ethic, and just her historical knowledge during my tenure at Bishop. And she really kept me on track, and I could not have made it without her. To say the least, my time at Bishop State was challenging and rewarding. I was privileged to be part of a team which achieved success in a lot of areas at Bishop State, but there's still a lot of work to be done. I'm leaving behind a talented leadership team, as well as faculty and staff. Bishop State today is not the same Bishop State as it was a few years ago. You will meet 3 new members of the senior leadership team shortly. So I feel good retiring knowing that an experienced, hard-working, and student-friendly leadership team is in place. Because of the new facilities, new programs, and the support of business and industry, Bishop State will continue to grow and prosper. Bishop State's future is bright, and I will support and provide assistance to the new administration to ensure a smooth transition. There's so much going on in Mobile right now, partnerships that are being created each and every day, and I want to do my part, and we'll do my part to make sure that there is a smooth transition. So I'm looking forward to my new career, which is having the time and the freedom to pursue my hobbies and interests, including travel, golf, hunting, and fishing. So imagine the joy of traveling without worrying about the college. A nice lunch without worrying of getting sleepy in the afternoon. Some of you probably can relate to that. And no phone calls from security while playing around the golf on Saturdays. So there are compensations in life's transitions. So finally, Chancellor Baker, I appreciate the opportunity that you've given me to make these retirement remarks this morning. And I thank you for your support over these past 11 years. So I'm not going to say goodbye because I'll be around through the end of the fall semester, the end of December. So I'm not going to say goodbye. I'll just say I hope to see you around soon, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I need the board to accept his letter of resignation from the trustees.
Okay, well, at this time, if I must, I will have to entertain a motion to accept the resignation of Dr. Sykes.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the retirement and resignation of Mr. Sykes.
Have a motion by Mr. Shell. Is there a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. Woods. Any discussion?
I just want to thank Mr. Sykes for his service to the system, to the communities that you've served, to the businesses and the students that you've served throughout your career. We appreciate your leadership. Want to wish you the very best in what life holds before you. Thank you.
I want to echo those same remarks. Dr. Sykes, you've just done a fantastic job down there in Mobile, and you're at the table with all the businesses and developed some good partnerships. And again, we have your numbers, and we know you're not leaving right away, so we appreciate it. Any other discussion, any other comments?
Well, nothing new to say. I appreciate, too, the effort you made to reestablish college in the community, in the business world. Great job. Thank you for that.
Okay. Well, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the resignation retirement letter from Dr. Sykes, please signify by raising your hand or voice vote. It seems like the motion passes. Yes.
This isn't on my agenda, but I'm going to add it to my agenda right now. I would hope that everyone will remember David Campbell. David has had surgery already today, hip placers. And so we all know and love David and the job that he does at Northeast. And just keep him in your prayers. And we have another president with us who you hadn't seen for a lot of reasons other than just the fact that we were not meeting in person. And I think all of you will know and appreciate the fact that Matt Rogers from Enterprise Community College is with us today. Matt, we're excited to see you. With that, I want to introduce Dr. Brenda Bierberg, if he would. Reggie hired Lawrence as Executive Vice President, and at a good time. The short period of time that he's been here, it's been an impressive career so far. He recognizes a lot of the needs and can provide a lot of leadership, and has a tremendous background in the community college business. So, Lawrence, if you would like to come to the podium. Well, okay. I should have, I'm sorry. I was out of town yesterday and today until this morning about 8:30. And I had asked Susan to put together this part of the report, so I apologize, Susan.
No problem, Chancellor, at all. Good morning, everyone. Chancellor Baker, Chairman Davis, members of the board, our presidents and guests. For just a second, if I can, I would like to provide some information about the new interim president of Bishop State Community College, Dr. Lawrence Brandenburg. He's currently serving as vice president, executive vice president of the college. Prior to his current service, he worked for the Lone Star Community College System in Houston, Texas, where he served in multiple positions in instructional and student success leadership, including founding vice president of instruction, student success of Lone Star College, University Park. Dr. Brandenburg has also served in an international capacity, excuse me, as CEO of Lone Star College, Jakarta, Indonesia. Lone Star Jakarta was a SACCOC certified community college that was the first of its kind in the country of Indonesia. During his tenure there, Dr. Brandenburg was instrumental in helping more than 300 Indonesian students complete the Associate of Arts degree program at that college. Dr. Brandenburg has been passionate in the area of student success his entire career. While serving as Dean of Instruction for Math and Teacher Education at Lone Star, he supervised a math division that implemented the system's first module math program to help expedite the success and completion of 3 developmental math courses in one semester. His advocacy for student success resulted in the creation of math success labs at 2 Lone Star College locations. Dr. Brandenburg is a graduate of the University of Texas at Austin's Community College Leadership Program. He enjoys reading books about Abraham Lincoln and Ulysses S. Grant. He resides in Mobile, Alabama with his wife of 36 years, and they are the proud parents of 3 adult children. Dr. Brandenburg. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Board, Chancellor Baker, thank you for this great opportunity. I plan to call on my many years of community college leadership to transform Bishop State Community College into the college that the citizens and businesses of Mobile and surrounding areas look to for an affordable quality education. Before I introduce my staff, I'm going to say a couple words about Dr. Reginald Sykes. I was a young undergraduate student when I first met Dr. Sykes. He happened to be my kinesiology professor at Prairie View A&M University. Our relationship is unique because I have had the great opportunity to see the start of his amazing career in education and also see the fruits of his labor more than 38 years later. I want to sincerely thank Dr. Sykes for his mentorship, and I look forward to his advisement as I start my new role at Bishop State Community College. In the last several months, with the assistance of System Office, we have assembled an exceptional staff with many years of educational experience. So I'm going to call out a couple of the staff that are here today, and if you guys would stand when I call your name out. The first person is Dr. Holly Harden. She's the Dean of the Health Sciences. Dr. Harden will be working to improve the success and quality of our health sciences programs and implement programs that will be available to our population both weekends and nights. Thank you, Dr. Harden. Dr. Catherine Pavey is the Chief Student Service Officer. She has already increased our recruitment efforts and is working to make sure the community will always have clear communication with our counselors and advisors. Thank you, Dr. Pavey. There's a couple people here that are on loan to us from System Office that will be helping us in this transition, and I'll start with Jessica Davis. Jessica Davis will serve as our Chief Financial Officer and will lead efforts to improve business office operations and provide many years of experience in budget management to ensure Bishop State's financial operations are first class. Thank you, Jessica. And the last person that's actually here today is Frazier Payne. Frazier will serve as a special assistant to the president and help to make sure Bishop State is at the cutting edge of business and manufacturing needs of the Mobile County and surrounding areas. Frazier? And there are a couple of the executive staff that are not here, and I'd just like to call out their names. That would be, of course, Gloria Sterling, who is the administrative assistant to the president, Roderick McSwain, who is the dean of instruction, and David Felton, dean of workforce education. In the next couple of months, the college will be producing a strategic plan that will consist of input from industry, community, K-12, and local government. The strategic plan will be our guideline to the transformation of Bishop State Community College. One of the big highlights, of course, is the Advanced Manufacturing Center will be the gold standard in quality education, and it will transform Bishop State's relationship with business and industry by offering certificates and associate degrees in advanced manufacturing, engineering, technology, and advanced manufacturing. The degrees that we'll actually offer with that program is process operation technology, industrial maintenance technology. The Advanced Manufacturing Center will prepare individuals to apply basic engineering principles and technical skills to identify and resolve production problems in the manufacture of products. This includes instruction in machine operations, production line operations, engineer analysis, system analysis, instrumentation, physical controls, automation, computer-aided manufacturing, and quality control in informational infrastructure. In addition to the Advanced Manufacturing Center, the college is in the process of completing the Health Sciences Center in the Bishop State College of Allied Health, which will also transform our relationship with the community and business and industry with the following programs. Under the Health Science Center, we, of course, will have the associate degree in nursing, practical nursing, and physical therapist assistant. At the Bishop State College of Allied Health, which is still under construction, we will already have a program we'll move there, which is the Health Information Technology, but we also plan to have respiratory therapy assistant, mental health technician, which is a big need in the entire country, and of course we'll have emergency medicine, which is the EMC. Transformation of the Student Services Division will make a significant contribution to recruiting, outreach, and customer relations. Coupled with all of the mentioned steps above is an all-out effort to place students first at Bishop State Community College. Students will be our #1 effort, and our team is prepared for the challenge. In my experience, if the college places students first in everything that we do, Bishop State will truly be a great place to start and finish. Thank you so much for giving me this time. And we have a video that we want to introduce at this time.
It was just like an extension of home.
When I came here, it was just so much love and people really care and passionate about, your education.
The future is so bright.
We are so excited about bringing our health science programs back to the main campus later this fall when this facility and one other is complete in renovations.
As I think about Austal, I think about Airbus and the countless other businesses that we have that need the workforce. The workforce is the lifeblood of those companies. And the students that will come out of here will be feeding that.
construction is everywhere. That is why Bishop State partnered with Federal Highways Administration and ALDOT to create a program called the Heavy Highway Construction Program.
Our partnership with Huntington Ingalls consists of a marine electric program. It also consists of a ship fitters program, and we also have plans for a pipe fitting program in the near future.
We're doing some great things at Bishop State. Keep an eye on us.
Thank you for sharing that video, and Dr. Brenda Bierberg, welcome, and we look forward to working with you, and the board will support you as well as we can. Look forward to your leadership. Next on the agenda, committee reports, and do we have any committee reports?
Nothing further.
Okay. Nothing, okay. Next is the Chancellor's report.
I'm not going to interfere with Susan on this one.
Good morning again. We have a few updates to share with you, and we're going to start with the safety and security update by Boone Kynard, and we will simply follow in the order that you all have on in your packets.
Good morning, Chancellor and trustees. It's good to have you back in person. And I know last month you all were provided an update about our efforts to ensure that all of our colleges are compliant with the Federal Clery Act and other safety and security reporting requirements. We wanted to take this opportunity today to update you on our progress on those efforts. We have made significant progress in the last month towards the goal of full compliance for every college by October 1st, which is when the annual safety reports have to be submitted to the U.S. Department of Education. To date, 16 of our colleges have been confirmed by our office to meet all compliance standards as required by the Clery Act and are ready for submission to the U.S. Department of Education. One of our colleges, Ingram State, as you know, serves a 100% incarcerated population, and with those special circumstances, we're working with the U.S. Department of Education for an exemption for them because these reports are already provided by the Alabama Department of Corrections. And then the 7 remaining colleges are in different stages of that process, and our staff is actually working with them to address minor issues in some reporting, and we expect to have all of those colleges in full compliance over the next several weeks, well ahead of our October 1st deadline. So I wanted to recognize and thank Chief Mark Bailey from Jefferson State Community College, who's here today. He has spent countless hours of time and effort over the last month reviewing documents, working directly with college staff to get us where we're at today. And I also want to thank the staff at each of the colleges that have had a role in this. They have been very responsive and always positive when called upon. I think as we mentioned last month, the U.S. Department of Education has been aware of our efforts from the very beginning and actually has provided us very valuable guidance as we've gone through this process. In fact, we've worked directly with Mr. James Moore, who is the Senior Advisor for Clery Compliance and Campus Safety Operations for the U.S. Department of Education. And we're actually in process of trying to schedule him to come to Alabama to provide a statewide training opportunity for our colleges as well. We're looking sometime in September, and we'll certainly share more details as that is finalized. Based on the initial feedback we've received from the U.S. Department of Education, once this initiative is said and done, we will likely be used as a model for how a college system should approach and implement federal reporting compliance for safety and security. So that's exciting. So that's our report, and I'll be happy to take any questions you have.
Any questions? Thank you, Boone.
Right, thank you.
good afternoon, or good morning, I should say. It hasn't been afternoon yet. I'm Karen Becker. I'm here to give you an update on all things IT. I will try not to bore you with too many technical details, but I did want to give you some updates on things. Start with PowerPoint. Sam, start it from the beginning, please. Thank you. And notice the bottom of it says overview of IT projects, but it should have put a word in the beginning or in between there that says a few of the IT projects. So please know we are very, very busy in IT and thankful to all our schools for participating with us as we go through all these initiatives. Current projects, just a few of the items that we've been working on. Again, you have learned and known a lot about security and what we're doing as far as making sure that the data and integrity of our schools continues to be secure. You've passed some policies on that. We're continuing to move those forward with, again, the support from our schools. There's two learning management software, our online learning management tool, both Blackboard and Canvas. One we are currently underway in implementing, and then the Canvas implementation, which we've just signed that contract, will begin shortly. So those two are huge initiatives for all of our institutions. TargetX is another product that we're implementing, and you've heard Olivier speak of it in earlier presentations. That is going to be a major focus. Our team has some very good people that are working on it very hard, hours and hours, trying to get it rolled out so that our students have a new way for us to communicate to them. We also have some technical things that are going on as far as converting of legacy data that still was not moved from our old environment. So that's continuing to move forward so that we have more information for reporting. The two things I have highlighted are the things I'm going to talk a little bit more detail on. Analytics is something you probably heard a lot about over the last few years. Part of the initiative to this whole ERP project is so that we can do comparisons of data, all kinds of data within Banner over year-to-year time periods. I'm going to show you some examples of what we're going to be able to show you as we roll through this implementation. Also, the Elevate product, and Mara is also going to give you a little bit of update from the workforce perspective. Elevate is a product we're going to be using for a lot of the initiatives from the workforce side as well. I just had a moment that I thought you could see some of the work and some of the things we've been doing over the last few months on analytics. The way we're rolling this out is having specific areas that we're focusing on data. So right now we're most focused on the student data. So that data is going to be combined together. And as you can see, July the 12th, we had some deadlines for doing some loads of that data into the analytics environment. Then we're going to be doing some user training actually next week. And then we'll have another call, more planning, strategic planning on how we're going to use this data in August. So we're moving forward with the student portion, but analytics as a whole encompasses all types of data, not just student. This is just an example of some of the data for student only that has been loaded, and this was even updated after I completed this slide. So most of our schools have 100%. The ones that do not have some small technical errors that we're working through. Nothing to be concerned about, but we're definitely moving in the right direction for gathering information so that we can start doing that longitudinal reporting. So as you're going to see, here's an example of some of the types of reports and data that we will show. I want to remind everybody, this is just examples. This is not our actual data. No information is being exposed. It shows everything from registration count day by day. I don't know if you can see at the very top, there is a year 2015 fall and then we're also looking at all the way through 2017. So this is just an example of a 3-year period. This is the type of data we can compare. Here's another example. Again, this is a pretend student, not one of our students. Just gives some information. This student, we had some information in our test environment from 2012, 2013. It's just showing data across the board for this particular student. Our next module of analytics we're going to be going to is financial aid. That's a critical part, obviously, of our student population. We're going to be doing the same process we did with student loading data. That will be happening in September. And then we will validate that data and work through any issues by the end of October. And then we expect to have some type of finalization of that initial data in November. These reports will grow over time. So because we've only been live with student for some years at some schools, it will take a period of time over several years for us to get this product completely live. Here's some examples of what you would get with financial aid. Different types of aid that's available, the percentage up and down, the accepted rate. And again, this is an example from 2015, as you can see up at the top right, through 2017. And here's an award comparison, aid type by year. And these are reports that will be available not only to you as the board members, but also to the presidents. Again, this is over a 3-year period, so these reports will not be instantaneous, but I think it gives us a long-term plan of how we can assess how we're doing. The final portion that we're going to be working on after financial aid is the financial analytics, and that we don't have a timeline for because that will be in 2022. But here's some examples of some of the things that you will see. Revenue budget to actual. And again, this is over from 2016 to 2018. And here's another one from 2016 to 2018. It shows expense budget variance. All these things will be developed and publicized as we get more data into the analytics component. I'm going to quickly talk to you about Elevate, which is the workforce product we're going to be using. We're implementing this for all of our institutions listed above. Right now, and I'm going to put a little asterisk, we've got Cohort 0 that's not on this list because, and Mara will fill you in on that a little bit more. We're going to be implementing the Elevate product for the system office itself, not one of the institutions. We'll have a freestanding instance that we'll be working on with Mara and Chris on an initiative through the state. And here's some of the timelines for us for that project. And as you can see, right in the middle is what I just mentioned. We're going to be using the product beginning in August to start registering students for the initiative that they've been working on. And then our Cohort 1 schools will start being able to use it at the end of November. Any questions?
What's the overall timeline for the cohorts? I mean, it's 1 through...
And it's, like I said up there, that Cohort 1 is in November, so it'll keep rolling out over a period of time. The sprints are usually about a month at a time, so I'd say 3 to 4 months per group.
Okay.
I just didn't want to give you more information out into 2022.
Gotcha.
Other questions? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Becker.
Allow just a moment for the presentation to be pulled up. Good morning. I kind of feel like what I'm about to show you is kind of a slideshow of family because on Monday of this week we had the line worker program. I hope that's not me. We had the line worker program. It is, that's what I thought. Somebody answer that. It's family calling. We had the kickoff of the line worker program at Trenton State Community College, and what a great day. It's not often that you can say in the middle of July, you have pretty much ideal conditions for around 100 people to stand out in the parking lot, some dressed in full climbing gear, others in very nice dresses, and others of us in coat and tie to witness the launch of the line worker program. So it was an almost perfect day for July. So with that, I want to kind of get started with the presentation. And this is not going to be loaded with facts, but I just want to capture the day. Alabama Power Company Executive Vice President of Customer and Employee Services, Mr. Jeff Peoples, obviously was on hand, and he commented that this was the 4th Alabama Power Line Worker Program in partnership with our community college system. The 3 programs that were in existence were Jeff State, Lawson State, Bishop State, and now Trenton State Community College. With the existing programs at Lawson, Jeff State, and Bishop State, a total of 4 graduating classes so far, with 80 individuals graduating in total. Alabama Power Company alone has hired 62 of those 80 individuals with an average hourly rate of $30 per hour. It's a very successful program, seeing graduates go through the program and obtain jobs. In fact, Bishop's last graduating class of 19 students all had job offers, many with multiple job offers upon completion of the program. And I said this was kind of like a family photo album. That guy that you see on the left there, he was there because he heard Trenton's culinary program was providing dessert. So, but this particular slide is the signing of the MOU between the partners. Dr. Kimba Chambers, acting president at Trenton, commented that this line worker training program was truly a public-private partnership with tremendous local support. She went on to say, at Trenton State, our focus is centered on our students and providing them every opportunity we can for them to be successful and make a better life for themselves, their family, and their community. Signing this MOU today alongside our partners is only the beginning of the life-changing opportunities this program can bring to our region. And I tell you, there were many in attendance supporting that, including local elected officials, the Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed, Montgomery County Commission Chairman Elton Dean, Alabama State Representative Charlotte Meadows, State Senator Kirk Hatcher. And I'm sure as I start calling individual names out, I've left someone out, but it was a great day. Pictured here is the official MOU signing between all partners involved in the line worker program, left to right. Alabama Rural Electric Association members, Mr. Jeff Watley with Central Alabama Electric Cooperative, Mr. Eric Turner with Dixie Electric Cooperative, ACCS Chancellor Jimmy Baker, Mr. Jeff Peoples of Alabama Power, and Dr. Kimba Chambers. Again, not only was there an inside signing of the document, we actually had an activity outside where they had Alabama Power, Dixie Electric, and Central Electric workers actually climb the pole and demonstrate how this pole field will be used for training. Mayor Reed in his remarks stated that there are more than 500 line worker jobs in the river region with a median salary of more than $84,000. Mayor Reed went on to say this program will be a gateway to a better future for our community because it opens doors to new opportunities for Montgomery area residents. Those who enroll will receive advanced training and increase their access to great paying jobs and careers that benefit not only the graduates but also their families. Then I'm going to tell you, Chairman Elton Dean stated that the line worker program at Trenton will be an elite program for individuals in the Montgomery County and the surrounding area, providing training that will lead to great paying jobs as well. In less than 2 weeks, we saw the pole farm, as they call it. It was installed at the Patterson campus of Trenton State Community College. So we were there 2 weeks ago with nothing there. We identified the site with Dr. Chambers and her staff, and then next time you pull up, you see this pole, and you can see it from the highway. So we look at this, it's a great location, high visibility from traffic, so it'll be a recruiting tool as individuals are training out on those poles, climbing the poles. It'll be a recruiting tool for the college and for those individuals who are seeking employment in the line worker program. A little bit of information about the program. Applications for acceptance into the program will be accepted from August 11th through September 1st. the eligibility requirements. Now think about what I've told you, $30 an hour hourly rate and average median salary of $84,000. The eligibility requirements, minimum age of 18 years old, high school diploma or GED, and then they have to complete an interest form online, which is located on Trentum's website. And Trentum's website has this line worker program identified with all the criteria involved. Candidates meeting the initial screening criteria will be notified on Friday, September 10th, and final candidates will be notified on Wednesday, October 27th, and given additional information on required documentation and deadlines. So the class itself will start on Monday, January 10th. There will be 10 seats available. There will be 5 individuals who will be chosen as alternates in case someone drops out of the classes. It'll be a 9-week program, 4 to 5 days per week, 10-hour days, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And again, I go back to you think about that type of training, non-credit training, and we can generate an individual in 9 weeks who has the capability of a median salary of $84,000. It's a great system. It's a great program. It's going to be well received. A few of the there's about 19 core training topics that I'll mention a few of those. Obviously, pole climbing will be one of those. CDL will be a portion of that training. Basic first aid, CPR training. One of the things that's included in this is soft skills training. So there'll be interpersonal skills as well as resume writing and mock interviews included in the training itself. Even before the program was officially launched, potential students and parents had already reached out to the college about the program. There was a parent who was looking at sending their son to a program over in Georgia, which was going to cost $10,000 to $15,000 for that individual to go through the training. By the way, the training cost on this program is $4,150. So the parent said, you know, I think our son can enroll, and we'll try to get in the program there at Trentum. I'll go on to say Mr. Eric Turner with Dixie Electric Co-op, and in this picture, he is the second from the right with the blue shirt on. He said that they were actually trying to recruit students out of Georgia, so the timing of this program here was just fantastic for them. He went on to also say his nephew was one of the completers at the Bishop States program, one of the recent graduates there, and he also left the program. As I said, everyone had a job offer, and he has a job today. Even Chairman Davis was there. Proud to have you a part of that. Someone I didn't mention, you see here, obviously, it was just a fantastic day, and I said it was kind of like a family outing because the unity and kind of partnership that we were seeing from the community, as well as partners who are going to need this training, who will hire our students. It felt very good to be a very small part of launching a new program like this, and knowing that the work that we do is making a difference in the lives of Alabamians. And I want to, on behalf of Trentum State and all of our community colleges, express our appreciation to you as the board and chancellor for your leadership in supporting our programs. Any questions?
Thank you, Keith.
Good morning. I'm not going to take much of your time. I want to turn it over to Mara, but wanted to, last board meeting gave you a small little overview of the Innovation Center and what is to come with the Innovation Center. And we have, with the help of so many people in here, also with the help, we've started going around to the colleges, and we met with 4 colleges Monday and Tuesday. I want to thank the presidents and their staffs for having us, and such a good welcome and working on this plan that we think is going to just help so many things in the state of Alabama. So as I pass out packets, Mara Harrison, who is the interim director for the Innovation Center, is going to give you a few more details about our progress.
Good morning. I need to apologize that I'm having some allergic reactions to dust and pollen and whatever else is out there, so my voice is going to be really strained today. Thanks for allowing me an opportunity to present this to you. It's a very exciting project for me. And for those of you I haven't met, my name is Mara Harrison, and I have been working in the system for 2.5 years now. I came in under a legislative bill that was placed that became Act 2019-506, which dealt with aligning education to workforce needs. And a lot of work has been done on behalf of that project and that piece of legislation over the past couple of years. And we have had a lot of interactions with our colleges, a lot of the industry partnerships that exist throughout the state, And then Chris Cox and myself have worked together collectively on a lot of initiatives that have kind of grown from that. My title has always been, since I've been here, Special Assistant to Chancellor Baker for Education and Workforce Transformation. Now of recent, as Chris said, I have a new title as the Interim Executive Director for the Innovation Center. And the Innovation Center, in my opinion, is going to provide the deliverables of all of the state work that has taken place over these past 2.5 years. I was very, very happy to come into Alabama as part of this project because I have said before, Alabama has been leading workforce efforts in the nation for many of these initiatives. And although a lot of work has been done, not a lot of progress has been seen on a deliverable level, and you are about to see it happen within this. One of the things that we've been working on is trying to brand this Innovation Center's delivery concept. And as you know, the Innovation Center has a physical presence in Decatur, Alabama. It is currently, well, tomorrow will start being renovated for the needs of this. But there are initiatives involved in it that do not require a physical presence. And so we've been working toward one of those initiatives, and that is the ACCS Credential. We've developed a website with a landing page that's still under works, and we're going to show you that. And Chris gave you an update on just a brief overview on the ACCS Credential last month, but I'd like to show you that video as we've enhanced it to be applicable to Alabama and Alabama companies and Alabama community colleges. So at this time, this is our updated video.
The Alabama Community College System serves all Alabama communities with 24 colleges and more than 130 locations. Delivering workforce training that is responsive to the needs of diverse student populations and the companies that employ them requires an organized, intentional approach. Students need short, straight paths to higher wages and better jobs, and Alabama companies need workers at all levels. Community colleges can meet this need by offering training that equips students with skills for specific jobs and career pathways aligned to local business and industry. The starting point of every career pathway is entry-level employment. It's the college's job to design programs that allow students to enter a career path and, with additional training, progress in that pathway to higher skill, higher paying jobs. To ensure all community colleges offer programs for student progression, the ACCS is developing a statewide credential for rapidly delivered non-credit training. Training that qualifies for the new ACCS State Workforce Credential will be developed in partnership with business and industry, lead to in-demand employment opportunities, and articulate to 4-credit programs. ACCS State Workforce Credential training will be offered in various locations throughout the state at varied times of the year, but will allow every Alabamian an opportunity to progress in employment regardless of where they live. Enrollment will be tied to participants' local community or technical college, and skills mastered will be recorded by the college, ensuring the student is able to earn college credits when ready to progress. By implementing the ACCS Workforce Credential, ACCS will ensure the right courses are offered to students using the most appropriate delivery methods, so that Alabama employers can hire the most qualified workers.
So this website will be available for our colleges, our industry partners, and also for students. We'll have a sort of a portal within this, and the students who are interested in joining these programs can utilize the website to be able to sign up for them. This is the portion that Karen was talking to you about, Elevate. We'll be using that to be able to register all of the participants. They are non-credit programs. They're the programs that will be existing in non-credit status. And I think that it's important for me to kind of give you a little bit of background on credentials and where Alabama as a state sits with the credentialing process so that you can understand the importance of this. The credentials are awarded just usually as an indication of specific skill sets that have been mastered. So we award them in many ways because we serve Alabamians in a lot of different ways. On the credit side, that can be a degree or a short certificate completion that is in a 4-credit program, or a long certificate. A high school diploma is also a credential, as well as a license or a certificate or a badge that enables you to do a certain job because you have the proof and evidence. When it is a 4-credit program, or it's a state license or something like that, then there is an outside agency who vets that program to make sure that the award is valuable, the credential is valuable. But there has been no way to determine a non-degreed potential's value, a non-degreed credential award's value. And so a few years ago, the National Skills Coalition developed a checklist to help states be able to indicate their non-degreed programs that would be able to receive an award and whether or not we should be able to consider that valuable. And that's just a checklist of 5 things. It means that a program that's not degreed or a non-credit training program must have occupation relevancy. It's got to have a partner. The development of it is done in partnership with business and industry. And this does not mean 1 or 2 companies. It means industry associations or bigger consortia of businesses that represent the same population of employees. It also needs to be able to have published skills that are trained within those programs that need to be very evident, and that jobs are attained after the completion of the program. There must be a job and a wage that's going to be given to a person who gets a job of that must be public knowledge. The last part is what's really important to the community college system, and that is that it is a requirement for us, a desired element of the National Skills Coalition, that non-credit training program exists on a pathway that would lead a student into the next level of employment. So a little more skill, a little more wage usually, and a little more talent from the student requiring them to be into that program. For us, what that looks like is the non-credit side would receive the ACCS credential, but the ACCS credential is special because it will also be given articulation toward the next program, which would be a 4-credit program in short certificate delivery. So it's a little bit complicated, and there are a lot of boxes to check to make sure that we are ensuring that this is a very, very valuable concept. You should know that utilizing the National Skills Coalition's definition of the valuable credential for non-credit training, Alabama was the first state to adopt that. Now there have been 6 states who have adopted those criteria, but only ours is trying to implement them. So this ACCS statewide credentialing initiative will be the first in the nation. Alabama will be leading those efforts. So we're very, very proud of this, and we want to make sure that we get it right. So that's why Chris has given you a folder. It is very detailed. The process is very detailed, and so you can read through that, and if you have questions, you can reach out to us. But you should know that we established this. A lot of things have been happening over the past month. For one, we have given a presentation on the ACCS credential to the college presidents. Then the 2 of us went with Chancellor Baker to the governor's office and presented it to them because it is a delivery mechanism for all of the state efforts that have been working in the ACCCP, which you have probably heard of because the chancellor is one of the co-chairs of that committee. One of the most, then now we are on our, what Chris and I like to call the Chris and Mara Roadshow. We're going to each individual college and talking to them about the ACCS credential. What we have learned together collectively and with the help of many people inside the system office is perhaps the most valuable term was Chris served as interim president at LBW and at Bevel. And sometimes when you work on projects like this from a theory-based, which is sort of where I was coming from, for policy implementation, then it's hard to understand why a college might not be able to answer to the needs of workforce, particularly in those areas of non-credit training. But because of his experiences there, we have learned a lot, and we have sort of assembled a list of college woes, things that would prohibit them from being able to just set up an immediate program and to deliver according to industry need. So what we have done is to take those woes that our community colleges have and bundle those as deliverables toward the ACCS credential on behalf of our colleges and for our colleges. And what that is having the encouragement of industry partnerships, and remember they're association of partnerships. Also establishing the skills that are necessary for those training, just to help our colleges be able to write out the skills that are going to be published for these training programs. And perhaps the most important piece is writing the curricula, because sometimes our colleges would require hiring a subject matter expert to be able to develop curricula particular to an industry trade, and that would not include an industrial credential, which would be something like NCCER, MSSC, those types of things. Sometimes that's not the requirement of the job. So the ACCS credential must list out the skill sets that are required for the job. And if that doesn't involve utilizing outside curricula, then it must be written. And so that's the primary thing that the Innovation Center will deliver is the curricula for that. but it will sit on a virtual platform that can be accessed by all colleges. It will also catalog the types of non-credit training programs that are happening throughout the state, and it will allow the colleges to be able to, if they're approached by industry, to go to that listing and see what is actually available, what's already been done on their behalf. Another thing that we'll do is to be able to provide instruction for those courses. And this will be something that can be contracted, just one cohort at a time, which would enable the colleges to not have to search and find the appropriate instructor or onboard them from a program that they might not need all year long. So we will help them do that and do that on their behalf. We will also help them provide the materials and equipment that's necessary for the training, and we will help them track the data outcomes. This is what Karen mentioned on Elevate. Our new instance of Elevate will allow the students to register, and then their home college will be the holder of the skills that they learned in the non-credit training program. So I'm not tech savvy, but Elevate will, in a sense, talk to Banner. And then when the student is ready to progress, it will be the home college that helps the student do that, and they will award the articulation from the non-credit training that occurred and earned the ACCS credential. So to make this process completely valuable and to make sure that we are approaching it in the most definitive way to align to the national skills definition, we have a vetting committee that sits within the ACCS system. And that committee will be the actual, the entity that will vet the credential, make sure that the training is appropriate, make sure the industry partnership is appropriate, and then we'll set that up to market it out to the colleges to let them know this is available for them to use. So what we know right now is that there already exist programs out there that our colleges are already doing that should earn the ACCS credential. And so when we go through our Chris and Mara Roadshow, what we have done is to take every college and assess it for a program that we think would qualify. And that's not something that Chris and I have done on our own. We have had lots of help from Keith Phillips and his workforce division, Natalie English and CTE. We've had a lot of help from inside this office. But we have set up one program for them, and when we present the ACC Credential Award potentials, we say, we think you have a program that would be worthy of a state model. And as you know, this has received a $10 million allocation legislatively. And so we are, in a sense, working with the colleges to absorb that program and make it a state model by basically buying their intellectual property. So when the program is put together, the course is created, we will license it so that it's only available to be trained by community colleges or the Innovation Center on behalf of our community colleges. A program like the line worker program that you just saw is sponsored and delivered with curricula based on the Alabama Power. We will not license Alabama Power content. We would love to, but they don't really allow that. But that is a program that our colleges can also submit and receive the ACCS credential. It will for sure receive that. But we will catalog that on the Innovation Center's non-credit training profile to make sure that our colleges know if they are approached by adopting a program like that, that they don't have to start from the beginning. It's already been done for them. We can even come in and set up a cohort or two and make it happen so that they know how to respond to it, kind of like a business plan for them. If we do that, and remember that Chris shared with you the meat cutter program, which is a very good example of exactly what this will be providing. We will work with the colleges to be able to set up something like meat cutter, but more than that, help them with the next short-term certificate for progression for the students. And we believe that in doing that, we should have 25 programs that will qualify for the ACCS credential minimally for the first year. And we're looking at this as a pilot effort under the $10 million. So what that means is our estimations show that we should train approximately through this in the first year's initiative, 4,600 students. We are going to, that is going to be a very small number compared to what we can do after this. But we understand that data collection is going to be very important to be able to ensuring that we have a legislative ask next time that shows exactly how much impact these programs have had on the state of Alabama and the workforce. I do want to tell you that we have had only positive feedback so far. And when there is a question about it, then we run it against this system office and try and make sure that we're prepared for any question that's to be answered so that we can fix it. It's not meant to compete for colleges. It's meant to help them. be able to never have to say no to their industry partnerships. But it's also helpful for us to be able to track exactly what's necessary throughout the state. And so some of the examples that we've given you, you're going to find in your folder. That list of programs that we're going to work on looks like this. So what this means is a college who has not been able to deliver programs like this will be able to deliver programs like this. And it will not be a risk for them. It'll be very cost effective because we will be handling all of the things that make it a challenge for them. In the event that then they need to adopt it on their own, they can, but it's not risky for them to have to set it up from the very beginning and not have the estimations of exactly how much of it is needed to be able to progress. Just to give you a little bit of insight to our dealings with industry associations, they've been very, honestly, just delightful to sit down with. Rosemary Elabash from NFIB was our first contact through the chancellor, and we said, can you tell us what your businesses need most? What types of training do they need most? And what she said, obviously right now, is hospitality and tourism, but then she also mentioned the butcher training. So that placed us on a very personal level with Mindy Haynen, who represents Hospitality and Tourism Association for the state, and then a lot of different entities under her. And also Ellie Taylor, who's the president of the Alabama Grocers Association. Just to give you some insight about how positive the feedback has been, the Grocers Association set up a survey to be able to see how many of their members would like to have butcher training offered to them by the community colleges in the state of Alabama. And over 500 of her members said yes. They responded with yes. Then we asked how many of you would be willing to sit with us and determine the appropriate skills necessary for the training, and over 50 signed up. Then we asked for a task force of who could help us design the curricula, and we had 12 sign up, but every time we've had a Zoom, we have over 20 people on those calls. And some of those are very engaging relationships. We follow up with them, and it's just as an example, there are two older gentlemen who have been third-generation owners of independent grocery stores in varied parts of the state. And they just look at the skill sets we start with, which is the work of the ACCCP, and we say, can you tell us if these are correct? If they're not, cross them out. Or if we haven't included one that you'd like, let's add it in. And then we ask them also, would they be willing for us to come in and video their storefronts, their meat counters, if they're engaged in the training in that way, and they have overwhelmingly said yes to those kind of efforts. Not only that, but when Dixie has volunteered to allow us to have the training take place in their warehouses, provide the equipment that's necessary, including the meat that would be able to be used and the knives that need to be used for the training. And they've helped us say that they can give us an instructor that they like. And then on top of that, they have said when a student is ready to progress, the Alabama Grocers Association has scholarship funding we'd like to award to those students who receive the ACCS credential and then can continue on into this field. So we feel like that is a very, very positive start to all things. And we have been very excited about that. And when we went to the governor's office, they gave us some feedback and said, we heard you didn't ask for money, for more money. And we said, well, we want to be good stewards of the $10 million. We want to make sure that we have the data to prove it. And the chancellor's response was, well, we haven't asked yet. So we want to be prepared to come back with a new ask that has real data behind it to be able to continue to strengthen these kind of programs. And just in speaking from Mindy Haynen from the Hospitality Association, she said, you're not going to have to ask because we will ask on your behalf because we know that what you're doing is exactly what we've asked you to create. So right now, we believe that the ACCS credential as the deliverable for the Innovation Center is going to be able to expand the footprint of the community colleges around the state of Alabama. It's going to help us reach a student population group that might not think that college is for them, and that's very important. And then it will help show them that even if they didn't think community colleges were for them, they did it already. They have already earned some credit toward the next level for the credit-based program. We also think that this is going to help us provide that menu of options for our colleges to be able to deliver from. Just like that list, it should be completely expansive in just a very short time. And then we also know that the state of Alabama has developed a credential registry, And our colleges are already registered on there for their 4 credit programs. It's just showing the amount of certificates we award for credit, degrees that we award for credit. But we will also now be able to register the ACCS credential for every program for every college. And so that will, again, help the governor's attainment goal of adding 500,000 newly credentialed workers to the workforce. This credential will count for that, even though it sits in a non-credit realm, which is a very unique thing. So anyway, I'm very proud to be part of this project, and I thank you for the trust in it that you have, in a roundabout way, given me. And we hope to be able to update you in a couple of months about some pictures just like Keith showed you from Line Worker, where we are actually conducting the training, and it is helping our colleges and our state in a tremendous way. Does anybody have any questions for us?
Yeah, that's pretty thorough. Appreciate it. We really appreciate your fervor and enthusiasm. Chris and Mara showed.
It is. Thank you.
All right. Anyone have any other comments? Anyone? Any other reports? Okay.
Good morning. I have no slideshow, and I don't know what all she just said, but it sounded pretty good. I'm going to just give you a really brief update. Some of you already know most of this. This has to do with the DCM transition. Back in February, when it first came out that it looked like this bill was going to pass, the chancellor asked me to convene an implementation team. I did that. I want to acknowledge Brian Helms and Sarah Calhoun's participation in that. As you know, there's a huge financial component that we'll be taking on as we go forward in the processing of pay applications, change orders, and all those types of things that go with that. So our finance office is very deeply involved in this. Of course, Ed Watley was at the center of this. No one has more experience today in what goes on with our facilities division than Ed. So he's been at the table with us throughout. Boone has certainly been there. As you all know, this was a pretty hard-fought piece of legislation. So we had a lot of stakeholders, and he's going to talk to you about that in just a moment. John Rollins and Tracy Davis of my office, both of whom have a lot of construction experience, both sometimes in litigation, which is not a good place to be, but you learn lessons from those things. And then I want to acknowledge the contribution from Blake McAnally and Milton Davis as well. Certainly Blake has been available to us more than once on some calls with some of these people to help guide some of these efforts. So it's taken a lot of work. And then we got the introduction to our new leader, Mark Salmon. And I have advised him that I am now holding a very rough draft of about a 50-page manual that I'm going to be giving to him later today so that he and I can begin our new friendship. I'm sure that there's going to be a good bit of work for us to do on that. But I want to tell you, August 1st is the date. That's when everything changes. You don't need to do anything right now. You've got policies on the books that allow us to move forward with what we need to do in the short run. This manual is going to be a manual that is a dynamic and living document. As we move forward with this project, I'm sure there are going to be things added. There are going to be things taken away. Over time, we want to try to develop some standard construction best practices so that we can have some standardization in the buildings. Obviously, that's going to take a little time, and I'm really looking forward to Mark's participation in that from his prior experience. The guiding principles of this group, however, have really been just very, very simple. We need to make sure that in everything we write and everything we ask you to implement, we're following the law, first and foremost. There was a lot of discussion about all that, and we wanted to make absolutely certain that you have a process that gives you code compliance and allows you to participate and be responsible for the bid law process. Those two things are non-negotiable. So they have to occur, and we're building a process that allows for that. That underlying philosophy of those two procedures is guided by one even larger principle, and that is the safety of the students and the residents that will be in these buildings from day to day, and that will always be a #1 priority. As we seek to focus in making these processes user-friendly, I want to forecast for you that where you're going to be headed is to a more online submission process. We heard that from business and industry. They want a streamlined process. We have talked with IT division about the possibility of creating our own section or link in the website so that we can have access and easy access to forms of all of our agreements. We are not trying to reinvent the wheel on every construction document we have. We could very easily take some of the prior documents that the industry is familiar with and utilize those in going forward to make those your documents. And we hope to make all of those online, and we hope to make the plan submission and review process a more user-friendly process in an electronic and digital world. So all those things will be coming along the way. You need to understand that there are 96 projects out there in the field today. And it required us to go sit down with the folks across the street and talk about how would we manage existing projects versus new projects. And the simple math suggests that we need to let those projects run their course to completion as DCM authorized projects, and we will do that, and they've agreed to do that. We had a very good relationship and conversation with them to make sure that we don't have bumps in the road to finish out and close out those projects, and many of those projects are near closeout. There may be 15 or 20 or so that are in some, serious stage of construction, but a lot of them are near closeout. The Innovation Center that you just heard about will be one of the very first projects that we roll out under our new model. Hopefully, the architectural and design work that's been going on with Mara and Chris behind the scenes up till now will be ready for us come August 1st to pursue the first model of moving something through our process. And we sort of thought, and the Chancellor and I talked about it, it'd be best if it was one of the projects of the system office that we cut our teeth on to make sure we get it right, because we know that people are out there looking at what we're doing and trying to hone in on our processes. So we're looking at all those processes, and we'll have a manual for you, hopefully in the not too distant future. But I wanted to make sure we had that in a situation where we were proud of it before we send it out. And certainly Mark's addition is going to help add something to that. I'm happy to answer any questions y'all have about that to give you assurances that we're going to be ready to go on August 1st, but we're going to be there.
I just want to say thank you for your efforts. And I think half of our board has engineering and construction background, and I always talk about laser focus on student success. We're going to be laser focused on this construction management policy and procedures.
Well, thank you,
so
Milton. I sort of assumed that was going to be the case.
Right.
I'm sorry, Blake, you were about to say
No, I was just thank the committee who's been involved all this time. Excellent work. Appreciate all that's been done. Happy to have been a part of several discussions, and I'm very happy about where we are at this early stage of the game, and I'm excited about this first project.
All right, thank y'all.
Good morning again. I think I'm the last up, so I'm going to be very brief about this. As Mr. Bates just shared, I've had the privilege of being part of this implementation team for the construction management project. One of the assignments that I was given was to convene a couple of meetings that we've held over the last few weeks, one of which was with leadership of the Alabama Department of Finance to talk about how we were going to transition projects into the our new model, and then also a meeting with construction-related trade associations, many of which who were opposed to the legislation and that we were on opposite sides of through that process, to get their input and hear their concerns, make sure they know that they were a key part of the process. So I'm happy to report that we've held both of those meetings. We had a meeting with leadership in the finance department on June 28th. This included the department's chief legal counsel, as well as the assistant finance director. It resulted, as Mr. Bates mentioned, a agreement between both of our entities on an implementation and transition plan, not only for new construction projects that, once the August 1st rolls around, but also existing projects to get them finalized through the DCM process. Also, we held a meeting with 6 different trade associations on July 6th. This included the Associated Builders and Contractors, the Association of General Contractors, Alabama chapter of American Association of Architects, the Alabama section of the American Society of Civil Engineers, the Alabama Contractors Association, and the Alabama Association of Fire Chiefs. We had quite a few people in the room that day. Mr. McAnally also joined us that day representing the Board of Trustees. Happy to report that I've gotten nothing but positive feedback since we held that meeting. It's been very well received by those groups, and it has alleviated many of their concerns and misunderstanding of how we were going to proceed forward. In fact, one of these groups has asked us to come back at a larger meeting that they're going to be having with their members to give the very similar presentation. So I think we're in a very good place with our partner organizations as we move forward into our new system. So thank you.
Jim? Okay. All right. Any comments? Anything else from the board? Okay. Next, I guess our next meeting will be the work session, and we're going to take a 10-minute break after this meeting before we begin our work session. And then the next Board of Trustees meeting is August 11th in the boardroom, in this room, at 10 a.m. And if there's nothing else, meeting's adjourned.
That's good reports.
Yeah.
Where was that when you started?
Below. But I've got a lot of it, yeah.
I got something in my throat. A lot better than
Well, that's part of why we can start doing some.
Is there a report, David, for the certification funds? Keith, you're going to do that? Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Purpose of my presentation this morning is request approval for the allocation of $100,000 from the 2020-2021 Industry Certification Initiative funds for the purpose of providing scholarship opportunities to high school and ACCS college gold medal winners of the state's 2021 Skills USA competition. A little bit of background about the Skills USA competition. As you know, it's a premier leadership organization. It's a national organization. The winners, they have regional, state, and national competitions for individuals to prove their skills. And this is a good opportunity for us to recruit and retain individuals who have who are working on their skills, keep them in our CTE programs, but also recruit them out of K-12. Since 2011, we've awarded 127 of these scholarships. In 2017, we saw a pretty significant increase, with 42 of those scholarships being awarded in 2019 alone. Approximately 60% of these scholarships go to K-12 students. Any questions?
How many scholarships you're anticipating awarding with this?
81.
81?
Yes, sir.
That's good. Any other questions? Thanks, Keith. Next item on the agenda is the salary schedules.
Good morning to you all. This request is for the board's approval of the 2021-2022 ACCS salary schedules for the community and technical colleges and the Alabama Technology Network. The salary schedules themselves are attached to the action item. The proposed salary schedules provide a 2% cost of living adjustment, pay increase. Employees who qualify for step increases will receive the salary step increase indicated by the appropriate salary schedule, in addition to the 2% increase, as stipulated and funded in Act 2021-330. The salary schedule increase will become effective September 1 of this year for employees on all schedules except faculty schedules. The faculty will, the new salary schedule for the faculty will go into effect the first day of the fall semester. Does anyone have any questions relating to the salary schedules?
Thank you, David.
The next item is Bishop State's request for approval to purchase an integrated process technology pilot plant and associated distributed control room system for its new Advanced Manufacturing Technology Center. The cost of this training equipment is $2,350,000. The process technology plant training equipment is primarily composed of two different units. The first is the water circulation unit, and the second is the glycol or glycol, water distribution unit. The hands-on trainer for the water circulation unit provides process technology students with real-world operational experience and equipment troubleshooting. The unit demonstrates the operation of common process unit components such as pumps, heat exchangers, tanks, chemical treatment, and control systems. The unit is designed using industrial engineering standards, providing a heavy-duty, robust product with components of the same make and manufacture that the students will encounter in industry. The components are configured and installed the way they are in industry, which allows the students to learn and practice industrial operations in a manner and on equipment that is identical to what is found in industry. The hands-on trainer for glycol water distillation unit provides process technology students with real-world operational experience and equipment troubleshooting. The glycol unit demonstrates the operation of common process unit components, including pumps, heat exchangers, distillation tower, steam boiler, cooling tower, chemical treatment, liquid ring compressor, and control systems. The glycol unit is designed using industrial engineering standards, providing components of the same make and manufacture that students will encounter in industry. The components are configured and installed as they are in industry, which allows students to learn and practice industrial operations in a manner and on equipment that they will encounter and which is identical to that in industry. This action item includes a rationale by the college, a description of the training equipment, the specifications for the training equipment, and a description of the training which can be had on this equipment. Does anyone have any questions regarding Bishop State's request?
And ATN helped with the specifications?
It's my understanding that they did. Keith, if you could.
Thanks. And I'll tell Mr. Brandenburg, this is a game changer. I'm a chemical engineer, and I think there are only like 6 4-year colleges that offer unit operations summer labs, and I can see now the university's reaching out to you in the future. So this is going to be a real game changer for us.
Any other questions? We'll move to the last item on the work session agenda, which is Enterprise State's request for the Board of Trustees to authorize the Alabama Community College System on behalf of Enterprise State to proceed with the sale of approximately 25 acres of land to the City of Enterprise for its construction of city-owned recreational facilities. At its April 8, 2020 meeting, the Board of Trustees authorized the President of Enterprise State to proceed with negotiations to sell approximately 20 acres of land to the City of Enterprise for these recreational facilities. The attached proposed agreement between the City, Enterprise State, and the ACCS is the culmination of those negotiations. The college and ACCS request approval to sell approximately 25 acres of land to the city for use as recreational facilities, which the city will construct to include soccer fields, a playground, sand volleyball courts, with supporting facilities, including restroom, parking lot, and concession area. The action item is supported by a copy of the proposed agreement, along with the action item from 2020 and the President's detailed evaluation and rationale for the sale of this property to the city. In addition, if I have a few slides, the first slide shows the property in question, the 25 acres. On the left, it shows the proposed area where the soccer fields will be built, along with the sand volleyball courts, the playground, and the concession area. It also shows the location of this property relative to the baseball and softball complex of the college. If we could go to the next slide, please. This slide shows a wider view of the area. In the lower left of this slide is the city's existing PV Park. Immediately above PV Park is the 25 acres that is before the board today, along with the schematic for the soccer fields and the volleyball courts. Next to that area is 61 acres of land that the city and the college are presently discussing for a joint land use agreement, which will come to the board at some point in the future, which would include a disc golf course, 18-hole disc golf course, and a 2.5-mile biking trail. If we could go to the next slide, please. The next slide shows the master plan for the entire area. We have PV Park again, the new complex of the soccer fields, the volleyball courts, the playground, the concession stand. It shows the proposed layout of the 18-hole disc golf course, along with the bike path and its proximity to the college's campus. This slide also shows a proposed future refurbishing of the college's track and an all-purpose athletic field within the track oval. Next slide, please. This slide shows the concept for a proposed batting cage and concession stand and restroom area at the college's softball, baseball complex. This is the future we are looking at, and once again, this would have to be approved by the Board of Trustees should it come to fruition. Next slide, please. This is a concept drawing for the batting cage and concession stand and restroom area at the baseball, softball complex. Again, this is in the works and hopefully will be coming to the Board of Trustees for approval in the not-so-distant future. Do any of you have any questions? Yes, sir.
The original request in April of 2020 was for 20 acres, but it was negotiated up to 25. What changed? Did the master plan drive some of the additional acreage?
It was the amount of acreage that the city needed to lay out the various aspects of that complex. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes our work session. Does anyone have any comments, questions? No. All right, work session adjourned, meeting adjourned.
So, Holly got money from
I think that I should spend.
some don't elect the right place.